You tuned in to Flavor Fix with Samantha Starr on WNOV 860 AM 106.5 The Voice. How y'all doing today? I know y'all can't hear.
It's like 60s and then it'll be like 40 and then
Uh-huh.
70. So now I understand why it's called May because it
Maybe
may
it
be
is.
hot,
It may be
it
not.
maybe not. I get it now. I can understand it now.
Well, if you've tuned in on YouTube Live or Facebook Live or the radio, we're glad to have you tuned in. If you don't know, I'm your host, Samantha Starr, founder of Samantha Starr Events, where I bring people together through my love of food, art, and culture. As always, make sure you like, share, and comment. We want to hear from you. If you want to call us, ask us some questions, call us at 414-444-5250. Look, I have a very special guest here today, Nurse Mahdi, who is a United States Air Force veteran and founder of Bklear Water. How you doing today?
I'm grateful. I'm
Grateful.
grateful.
Yes,
It
that's the
is.
word. That's the
Yeah.
word for today. Grateful.
See, what they didn't hear is before we started, I was over here complaining about my day. However, with all things in perspective, I'm eternally grateful. I have my health. Children have their health. We're talking
Mhm.
about a business that was thought of, materialized, and got the attention of this young lady to even have the honor of sitting on this show. So
Yeah.
ain't much to complain about.
Thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
I wish the littles were here so we can hear about their part, the
Um,
roles that they play with Be Clear. But
and they
we'll
and
have you tell us.
well, they love the radio, or TV, all things. Maybe not the middle one. He's pretty much,
And what's the age breakdown?
So I 17, my firstborn, 8, just had a birthday for the baby girl who is 6,
Okay.
and then some additions are 4 and 3.
There you have it.
So I got
The
cinco.
Fantastic Five.
You better know it. I'm trying to get the starting lineup. I heard the Bucks was in trouble. You know,
Lord have mercy.
The Fantastic Five. I love it.
yeah,
Lots of personality.
yeah. I always wanted a big family though.
There
I
you go.
did.
It
I,
came.
I wanted a whole 10, but I think I'll just stop. Yeah, I think halfway there is, I'm halfway further than I was,
Yeah, you
So,
are. Very good. Very good. Well, we love to get started and talk about all things Be Clear and how you got started and what your journey has looked like building this brand, and even being a nurse and the influence that that has had on starting Be Clear
right.
or creating Be Clear, I should say. So give us a little background, where you from, all the good things.
Um, in short, born in Florida, raised between Boston and East St. Louis. Um, we came to Milwaukee in high school.
Okay.
Um, did I was gonna say did a little time like this was jail, but
I
spent
mean,
some time in Milwaukee before I moved off to Dallas. I went to school, came back, had my firstborn, and knew I couldn't leave him. So I've been rooted here in Milwaukee. This is where they called home. And
mhm.
so, just like my physical home, I do anything that I can do for their home
Mhm.
that'll eventually benefit them and those his peers and counterparts.
Yeah.
So,
So you spent some time in the Air Force, huh?
yeah, 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years. It was let's see, going in there with this rebel attitude. Military is not for that.
Yeah.
However, I also always loved uniformity.
Hmm.
Appearance, teaching appearance. I would like to say my father is an army vet.
Okay.
He was an officer in the army. My mom also was she was guard for the Air Force.
Okay.
So it was a little bit before then. But my father ran the house and all things life, like military base and basic boot camp. Everything
Mhm.
had to be some certain place, certain time, so on and so forth. So that's what I was kind of raised on. So by
Mhm.
the time I did the military, like the semantics of it was easy.
Mhm.
It was, but I realized why I liked it and gravitate towards it is the uniformity and the visual image of things. And I think that kind of helped me out with attention to detail, the
Mhm.
visual, which will even spearhead over into the bottle.
Right.
Yeah. So it served its purpose.
Yep.
And I did have some great times, not so great times,
Mhm.
but it's part of my life, and I'm I don't regret. So
Nice. And then how soon? What was the path to, like nursing school and all of that?
so um, nursing school. My great grandmother, she was she had just 96, living in her home, just got diagnosed with dementia.
Okay.
Um, in a short transition, she passed. But in that short transition, I used to, still in the service, I would leave or travel from Milwaukee to St. Louis to help my grandmother care for her. And the reason being that she only kind of took to me. You know, when it first happened, it was kind of this little ego stroke, like, yeah, she only I can do it, until I realized the responsibility.
Yeah.
And then as she declined more, she started calling me daddy, and she would only take her medicine or whatever the case may be
Mm.
if I was there.
Mm.
So it was a constant back and forth
Yeah.
to St. Louis. That was stressful. Um, but honestly, emotionally, I think before I had this emotional maturity, internally, I was dealing with like, it was sad.
Yeah.
Um, and so she was declining in short, and I held her hand. She used to sing this Beatles song. It was something she used to be like, let me hold your hand. I don't know what it was until I had to look it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that. So I looked it up. I realized what it was. And I don't know, it was just driving back from St. Louis to Milwaukee. I saw how that nurse was just trash. And I said, I'm going to do it. It may be too late for her, but I still have my grandmother. I still have my mother. I have children. I have loved ones.
Mm.
I'm going to get there. And it's sometimes I take on a lot, and I take on the fact that I can't depend on other people to do what has been pressed on me.
Right.
So on the way back from St. Louis to Milwaukee, I actually called just about every school and figured out what's the soonest way and the quickest way I can get into nursing school.
Mhm.
Got into Cardinal Stritch and Bryan and Stratton. I came down. I took a test right off the road. It was a 5-hour test. Did it in about 3. Started nursing school next week. Had no clue whatsoever what I was walking into. Don't know any nurses. Didn't I always assumed that nursing was a
Right.
Caucasian woman field, and I grew up in East St. Louis and Boston, and you say you're gonna be a nurse, it's like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was taboo.
Yeah.
So I realized it's these stages in life when it got pressed on me, regardless of what I thought someone else felt about it. I
Mhm.
felt it was an assignment for me, and I always had to fulfill those assignments.
That's beautiful. I
So
love that.
I did, and I'm glad I did.
Mhm.
And nursing has taken me so many places
Right.
and opened up so many opportunities. And just for the record, for anybody out there who's considered being a nurse, think it's soft or weak or whatever it is, or it's not manly. Um, One thing I learned through nursing, and it'll go into business, it'll go into parenting.
Mhm.
I thought I became a man when I became a father, right? Responsibility, so on and so forth. But I realized I spent my entire life living as what people have put up and displayed
Mhm.
for what black males are supposed to be.
Mhm.
We're supposed to be violent. We're supposed to be angry. We're supposed to be aggressive. We're supposed to be tough. And I realized as I looked at my peers, we didn't speak. We nodded or we just looked. And it was more so about showing less emotion that made you more of a man. Until I got a nurse and I realized being empathetic is not a feminine or masculine thing. That's a human thing.
That part.
And then when I realized the responsibility of all our heroes or greats, we look at them because they inspire and they change situations that benefit us.
Mhm.
But that's what a nurse does with our health in our community. And if they're doing their job correctly, let me go ahead and lay that out there
Right.
because there's some bad apples everywhere you slice it. Um, but most importantly for me, I realized I became a man when I realized that I accepted I'm human
Mhm.
before anything else, and my emotions are a natural thing. It's not necessarily me diving into my emotions, but controlling my emotions,
Mhm.
understanding my emotions, accepting my emotions, and controlling them. Because men who are tough and brute and blah blah blah, and I was like that. So I'm not making fun of anybody or talking about anybody. But you think you're tough? Prison and the cemetery are full of emotional people.
Mhm.
So don't say there's a problem being emotional. You might step on your shoes, you get angry, you jealous or something, and whatever the case. But those are emotions. Just no control over them.
Right.
And so I say that I really became a man when I became a nurse. Yeah.
Mm.
The
I
responsibility
like
became
that.
greater.
Yeah.
The responsibility became greater because it wasn't just a patient. I started seeing patients as communities, assessing the problem, what's going on, and fixing it.
Mhm.
And so one night,
Yep. I was just going.
I was a director of nursing in Chicago. And from my check, working with some dope, amazing individuals, um, we did everything that we could do. Right? It's far too often you don't see people of color, have people of color advocate and stand in front of.
Mhm.
Uh, Unfortunately, sometimes some of us, people of color, they go to different areas and they put on their best behavior, and then sometimes when they get around their
Mhm.
peers and such, it's just the bare minimum,
Right.
and I didn't like that. So I went to the, south side of Chicago, and I gave my best, and I worked with so many individuals, and push come to shove, I got to the point where I'm like director of nursing. We in board meetings and such, and they accepted how the place changed from a 1 star to a 5 star, how the patient satisfactory increased, how
Mhm.
once upon a time it was me on the cart as a director of nursing, third shift and second shift, because if you wasn't getting with the program, you got the role, but I had to compensate.
Mhm.
And I was sitting in a board meeting, and I was just took it upon myself to ask
You can raise that up if you need to.
$30 for a walker.
Mhm.
And that $30 for a walker was for a resident who's been there so long, so they made so much money off of them.
Mhm.
And they told me they didn't have the money. You were a million deficit before I came till you became a million surplus a day. I worked with operations and then administration, and then I looked at, as I'm sitting in this boardroom, not at the hotel, not at the hospital, but a separate building.
Mhm.
There was hundreds of dollars of food spread out in front of this, and nobody was eating, so it was wasted.
Mhm.
You could give me $30, and I realized at that point in time, I have I've expired that position. There's nothing more I can do. So to stay in that position, I would have only stayed there for money because it was great. It's wonderful. I loved it,
Yeah.
especially Chicago pay, living in Milwaukee. So, but it was amazing.
Right.
And so I said something has to change. August 28th, 2020 at 3:14 a.m., I woke up. It said, do it. A couple years prior, I was part of a study that showed the negative effects of plastic on our overall health.
Mhm.
It was kind of voluntold study. I don't like boring paperwork and stuff.
Mhm.
And just learning in that moment, I started visualizing all the packets of water I got at home. And they're telling me that plastic is bad. And I thought I was doing something good for my children, right? So it affects our endocrine system, our respiratory system, our reproductive system, even attributed to causing hormonal dysfunction, causing cancer. And I'm like, dang, something had to change.
Yeah.
So we started off on mason jars. I was traveling looking for online, wonderful world of the internet,
Yep.
looking for healthy alternatives for my children until I had that dream. It was like, do it. A month later, we had a bottle, and it was because a couple of places I visited. So it didn't just
Mhm.
happen overnight. That dream just made everything
Right.
happen
Right.
overnight.
Right.
So years of going to different factories, different manufacturing plants and such. And even you and I
Yep.
linked up and met with the distillery, not only here, but then also talk about Great Lakes and such.
Yep.
And and when I like again, like I said before, when I get this assignment, I can't ignore it. because it's
Yeah,
like when I
that's
know
it.
something is supposed to be done and I
Yeah.
don't do it, it seems like the rest of my world just tumbled down. Like it would have been all right if you'd listen. And so I did it, and it was kind of stressful, scary. And then when I did it for my children, I realized I'd be selfish if I only worried about them, because I'm supposed to be, a man.
Mhm.
I'm supposed to be a leader and maintainer and protector and such. But that's not just of your household; that's of your community.
Right.
And I have a community background for the most part, usually under the radar, and so it was born. And it's like I got to be an entrepreneur. Like man, so it was tough. It's still tough, for all the
Yeah.
aspiring entrepreneurs. Like it would seem like you are running around like crazy and nothing to show for it. But it all makes sense. It
Mhm.
all makes sense eventually. And I'm just grateful. So the
Yeah.
water was born and still just trying to grow and build it as I learn entrepreneurship and
Mhm.
get out of my own personal bubble to network and meet people and put myself out there.
Yes.
So
That's a beautiful beginning. You got so much more in
yeah, I
store
thought that was it.
and going on.
I was like, yeah, I said everything. Time to go.
So what do you enjoy? First of all, give us a background, your 30-second elevator pitch on Be Clear for the listeners who have never heard of Be Clear alkaline water.
So Bklear is the premier alkaline water. It is based in Milwaukee. It is
Which camera he
uh, based in aluminum sustainable packaging
got? Hmm.
to help eliminate the plastic pollution, and not only in our community but then also in ourselves. So to increase health improvements and also decrease plastic pollution. We plant a tree every case we sell, and maybe somewhere in this show we'll show where majority, if not all, of the profits go to.
Yeah.
So
How many trees have you planted so far?
we're almost up to like 11,000.
Woo.
Yeah,
And just all over.
all over, anywhere we go. Anywhere we
Okay.
go, it's drop a seed here, drop a seed there, and keep
Yeah.
going. Now we're in talks with doing something with Milwaukee
Oh,
because I want it to be everything I want is in Milwaukee.
okay.
This is where home is. My children were born. This is where I pay my taxes and so
Mhm.
on and so
Mhm.
forth. And so I feel this responsibility for the city. So I really want everything in Milwaukee.
Mhm.
However, we all know that sometimes support doesn't always come from home first.
Yeah.
I do have good support here in the city, but I won't make it just off the support in the city at this
Mhm.
current time. So great, gratefully and prayerfully that other people around the world have seen it
Right.
and they have reached out time and time again. We've been international, we've been different states, different conferences,
Mhm.
um, cross thresholds I didn't even know where we would go.
Right.
But we call the water the universal unifier. And so hoping that
Universal
we'll
unifier.
bring everybody, regardless of race, religion, sexual preference, whatever, we need water to
To
exist.
survive. Yeah.
And so why we can't get a piece of that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Be clear.
let's not forget we got some of these clear packs out here. You
I
know what
know.
I'm
I
saying?
can't. That flavor. This is
Elder.
elderberry and lemonade. Tell us
Yeah.
all the flavors of the clear packs.
So I only have two.
Oh, okay.
This was they just introduced. Are you done? I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
I want to try something. When you think about adding to a line, you don't want to just have one thing,
Hmm.
right? However, we're all things hydration. Um, so we started off with four, and I narrowed it down to two. And the two were because those, after having people try them and test them, those were the highest rated. So I went with that. One is we have the elderberry lemonade,
Hmm.
which is aids in immune support. All of them are packed with vitamins and minerals, no artificial flavors, colors. Um, I had to make it safe enough for my babies to
Yeah,
drink and everybody
of
else. So
course.
it's health conscious for people that for you beautiful people out there that I didn't know don't like water. Like I never met so many people that said I don't drink water. Well, here's some flavor for it, so you can claim it's juice now.
Right.
But it's it's great.
Right. All right, we're
So we
gonna
got
go.
watermelon mint and elderberry lemonade.
Okay.
Sorry, there we go.
What was the say it again? Because he went.
Watermelon mint and elderberry lemonade.
There we go. All right, we'll be back right after this quick break on Flavor Fix with Samantha Starr. If you're looking for mouth-watering eats and delectable treats, look no further. Eat local and visit the Sherman Phoenix today, where you can find everything from delicious organic wings and smoked barbecue to satisfyingly seasoned vegan food to sweet, buttery, made-to-order desserts. The Sherman Phoenix is also home to a day bar, serving mixed, frozen, and tropical drinks. Experience the Sherman Phoenix effect at 3536 West Fond du Lac Avenue, open Tuesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Visit theshermanphoenix.com to learn more.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Looking to leave a lasting impression? Look no further than Great Impressions Graphics and Printing. With over 25 years of experience, we're your one-stop shop for all things printing. Whether it's custom invitations, banners, apparel, or high-quality on-time funeral programs, we've got you covered. Planning a family reunion? We'd love to help. Visit our website at greatimpress.com or give us a call at 414-536-7646 to start your next project today. We're here when you need us.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Brownstone Social Lounge, Milwaukee's premier downtown social lounge for good vibes, good music, and good food. Offers all-day happy hour every Tuesday and Wednesday. $6 wings, $8 flatbreads, drink specials, and more. Essential Tuesdays. All essential workers receive 10% off their purchase with proof of ID every Tuesday. Kick back with R&B karaoke Thursday, beginning at 7 p.m., followed by Throwback Thursday. Brownstone Social Lounge. Great food, great drinks, fresh hookah, located at 524 North Water Street.
You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
What's your flavor? What's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor.
Now, back to Flavor Fix with your host, Samantha Starr on 860 AM and 106.5 FM.
All right, we're back with Nurse Mahdi, who is the founder of Bklear, alkaline water, Bklear, H2O, all the things. We learned a little bit about how his journey began and got started. Before we went to break, he was telling us about his Bklear packs where he has elderberry, lemonade, and watermelon mint.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So I want to know, you have traveled to Ghana and you've done some work there, very community driven. Tell us about that journey and the influence that has had on your brand and health and wellness in general.
Absolutely. Well, with the water, as I said, that other people from outside of Milwaukee saw it and decided to, rally behind it. When we first had our news article here by Mr. Atkins, who's no longer on the news here, Channel 12, and shout out to Tony.
Look, that's my commercial.
shout out to Tony and Samantha for the plug. But he did a thing with the news, and it was seen by a group in California. And they reached out to me and thought it was super cool. Focused on the sustainable goals of the UN.
Mm-hmm.
They were going out to Kenya, and they invited me.
Okay.
And so they invited me to Kenya, and I said, I always said I want to go to Africa. I wasn't traveling anywhere else until I've gone to Africa,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't really honest because I was traveling. But that was a trip that was paid for,
Mm-hmm.
and they were so invested in the water and why the water and it just opened up everything. We went to Kenya. It was Nairobi and Lamu, Tanzania, and Uganda.
Okay.
And so we've been there more so on the east. And when I went there, I thought we was doing like something. I did this little grouping here in Milwaukee. Everybody sign a bottle and take it back as the message on a bottle instead of in a bottle. I wanted to
Nice.
include Milwaukee and see, you know,
Right.
where we're going, what we're doing, and represent for our great city. And then I got over there thinking I was doing all this stuff by giving off art supplies and stuff. And I realized I wasn't doing anything.
Mm.
And I saw so many people with very little giving me so much, offering so much. And I said, dang, we have people here in abundance that got to make you beg or show out or tap dance for something. They don't even know me. Right. And I went over there and there's misconceptions of how they treat them like Americans, blah, blah, blah. I'm a 6'4" black dude with a full beard. I ain't really invited anywhere. So going over there, they just embrace, and I just never saw so many people with very little. I thought I was going over there to give. I realized that I was taking. I come back over there. I said, I got to do more. That's where the trees, we started planting trees there, clean up, investing in the students there, recycling trash to art. So many things out there, working with NGOs. And then we ended up taking that, and I realized I got to keep going. We got to keep this going, right? Ended up at Guatemala City. We were in Mexico. And this time in Guatemala City, we started building hen houses and stoves. People ask why stove, where the water is so contaminated, but you can boil it. So they didn't have proper ventilation in their stoves to even boil the water. So it seemed like they were trading clean air for clean water. So we built some properly ventilated stoves. Hen houses were more so of micro businesses. Instead of going somewhere and say, oh, we did something and leave, and then when you're gone, it was done. We also, and actually Clear Packs was invented because of that. I got dehydrated, and with elevators, like the waterman got dehydrated. Right. I took all the water there, but it was gone in no time. It's like, where's our replenish, right? And I don't drink Powerade. I don't do artificial coloring and stuff. So everything was like Powerade this or Gatorade that. And I didn't realize with the elevation and the heat working in it, boy, I got dehydrated. And so I went and got all these packs, and I was like, they nasty. They full of junk.
There we go.
You better know it. So sometimes, something beautiful comes out of, what did it say? Flowers come out of crap. And so this was born. And then most recently, something was pressing on me to do something in Ghana. I went to talk to my old lady. Shout out B. What up, though? And I wanted to build a school there. Don't ask me why. It's the same reason why somebody like, why you want to do water? It's working out for me by just listening and going along with it. But something was in me. And just in that in itself, I reached out to a couple people on Facebook, reached out to Kwaku, shout out to him, Brother Jermaine Reed, shout out to him. And they connected me to someone. And in 3 weeks, I was boarded a plane with my eldest son, his first time out of the country. It was a beautiful father-son trip. And not only did we get to meet this chief of the Asante people, we also met the king of the Asante. And they rallied behind me wanting to do the school. And they just asked if we can partner and do it together rather than I take the responsibility.
Absolutely.
We're about a month away from this school being finished. And
that's what's up.
It's crazy because I couldn't even remember liking school. And here I am to say, like, I want the children to see it from the ground up. And so not only are we giving jobs, not only, and a lot of people, well, why you go all the way over there to do that? I will say one thing, and I don't know if it'll get me in trouble later or whatever. Honestly, it seems like it's far more appreciated there. Every place else I've gone. Because maybe they don't have this picture of who I am, what I am, where I come from, or whatever it is. They just like, man, this dude came all the way over here to do this.
Right.
And it's dope, the community. So they had a naming ceremony. They gave me some gifts. I put a picture on it. I forgot what it's called. My new name is Kwabanam Posakwa.
Okay.
And it was just beautiful. So I still talk to everyone. I've met so many people there, and we'll be going back, and they want to rally the whole community this time. So it was like 20 chiefs out there when I
Mm.
came, and they showed me
Oh,
around, and it
that's-
was like celebrity. My son was
I
like,
know. I was about to say that just
my,
had to be.
my son. It was overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
I don't like too many people looking at me at the same time. Like, hey, like it ain't that
Right.
big of a deal, right? And so Brother Jermaine Reed was clowning me on Facebook because I had a hoodie on. Well, I like to kind of duck off from here and there, but my son said, he showed how young he is. He said, "Man, you like Will Smith,"
Mm,
but he was talking about Will Smith playing Ali.
mm-hmm.
And so we went out there. It was so many children that rallied behind it. It was so many adults, so many people. And it was like everywhere we went, everybody was like just greeting us and taking us around. It was beautiful.
Mhm.
I see why rich people love that. So I felt like a celebrity, but I get tired of it quick. But it was just beautiful. I met a lot of different businesses, and I'm going to share the journey. And it's not just with me.
Right.
It's so many brothers in Milwaukee,
Mm-hmm.
DC, then in Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
because the image and the work should go ahead and represent that, to break the notion and create the image that Black men can work together. Men of color can work together.
Yes.
We can produce something, and we're not dying over blocks. We're building schools overseas, and so that must be
Mm-hmm.
the mission. We must work together, because I always grew up like, you can't work for Black folks.
Mm-hmm.
We can't figure it out. Somebody always want this and that, and that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But we just don't have so many images of it, and I'm beautiful. It's a blessing to be a part of something beautiful like that.
I love it.
Shout out to all the brothers out there. I have too many to name.
Yes. So while we're on the topic of collaborations, tell us a little bit about how the partnership between you and English Gardner came about. Olympic gold medalist English Gardner.
We're gonna say two-time medalist. Two-time
medalist.
She is a beautiful person.
Mm-hmm.
Family is a beautiful family, and they have embraced me and supported me nonstop. We are no longer like working together. That's my sister,
Yeah.
But going back to earlier, how that happened, that's because I was talking about the support in the city.
Mm.
It was the support of social media. She posted something that stated she wants to work with a Black hydration company. And I saw a couple of tags, Bklear, Bklear. So I took it, screenshot, and put it on my page, and Milwaukee showed up. A lot of other support from different cities, but Milwaukee showed up. Next thing you know, we were on a video call and told a little bit about what I want to do. And she was working with Gatorade and all of them. She decided to work with
you.
Yes.
With Nurse Mahdi.
Yes.
Do y'all see her on this can?
And that is
beautiful.
Partially of how I can show my gratitude to her.
Right.
She's on the box that are shipped out. She's on the bottle. She didn't have to do that. Mm-hmm. And it shows that, there's some great people out here that are not all about the money.
Yeah. Mm. So how can the community continue to support your work?
First, at everybody who don't have the water in their place, go in there. So, but they are, and I want to sincerely say thank you to every person that has ever purchased a bottle, shared a post, said something positive, encouraged me in any type of way. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it, because you don't have to, right? What you can do is continue doing that. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. A business, start going to your local businesses, tell them about it, tell them, support it that way. You can also go on the website and make some donations or buy some water. I will always appreciate your financial support, but it doesn't have to. Right. Go on the page. I spend a lot of time editing these videos because I ain't got that marketing budget. So you can share some of that work. But, there's that. And in reality, pick up some trash in your neighborhood. Be kind to your neighbor, open a door, smile, and just pay any blessing for it. That does enough for me.
Absolutely.
Right.
Now you've had so many significant milestones leading up to today. Who has been, key influences, one person, multiple people, throughout this journey?
What's that Snoop Dogg said? Last but not least, I want to thank myself.
Shout out to myself.
I can list off so many people. Mm-hmm. that have been pivotal in this whole journey. From Lewis Carr, the president of media sales, to my old lady, my children, my mother for creating me. You can go on and on, but really, uh, you, when I say me, I'm speaking of the creator in me that has been loud enough for me to hear it. For me, I owe myself to be the best version of me. I owe my children, I owe my community, I owe everybody the best version of me. So that pep talk that I somewhat give myself every day to keep going, to reach out, to get out of my comfort zone, to take the criticism, as a learning experience, to not fit in certain spaces, to be too big for certain spaces. I would have quit a long time ago. So I will say that outside of family, which I'm part of, the creator, there have been people in business that have just been monumental. Talking about Jermaine Reed, Dr. Stacia, Truman. Truman, my brother. Truman McGee has been crazy supportive. Crazy supportive. And just to think that he told me, no, he ain't working with me. And he denies his story because he's working with somebody else with a water company.
Okay.
And a year later, when he saw it, I thought he was going to say the same thing. He saw the bottle. He bought 10 cases on the spot. I didn't even have the cases in yet. And I never got that from a black or a man of color. Let me say that. That's not how I've been surrounded by people growing up. It's about get all you can get for you and bury and scroll it up. So I am eternally grateful for him and his constant support. And everybody. Like I said, I'll be here all day trying to list off people.
Absolutely.
But I truly appreciate you, Truman. You're here on the air. I love you, man. No Diddy. No, I'm just playing. So can't use that.
That's hilarious.
No.
So I want to take a deeper dive into the health benefits that Bklear offers compared to regular bottled water.
Well, as we stated about the plastic, that's been our primary focus. Only 9% of plastic gets recycled. We talk about tens of millions of tons of plastic. 8 million ends up in the ocean every year. I don't know how much is on land. 70% of all recycled, 70% of all aluminum in production today that was created is still in production today. It's an incentive. People make money. Everything was intentional with the bottle. From the can man getting some change to reducing the litter in our communities to overall health benefits. So the health, one, is in the bottle. Two, I know a lot of people ask, what's the big fuss about alkaline opposed to anything else? Well, I will be completely transparent. I will be clear. Drinking the water alone will not dramatically change your diet, your overall health. The fuss around alkaline versus acidic is it's acidic from the air we breathe to the food we eat to the beverages we drink. Drinking water is a great start. Drinking alkaline water is a great start.
Yeah.
But it's not going to dramatically change. You got to change your diet, your practices, so on and so forth. And so health-wise, it's a good start. We all need water, so drink more water before you drink any of the other junk. And it's a powerful step in the right direction.
Right. And you are addressing environmental issues with your aluminum.
Yeah, I get called Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
Man, I've been called everything. Bobby Boucher from the Waterboy, Aquaman.
Oh my gosh.
And I appreciate it, though, because that's something I probably would say to somebody.
Right.
But it's the same people that make fun of me are still supportive, too. I could take a good joke. But environmentally, I don't even remember. Now, I've been in nursing school. I've traveled. I've been in the Air Force. I really never even seen or thought somebody around sustainability that looked like me. I didn't.
Right.
Now I'm getting invited to the UN over in Scotland that we were invited to the UN conference because of sustainability. And I'm thinking like, man, I'm from Milwaukee, where people stop at the stoplight sometimes and put their trash right out there and then drive off.
Yeah.
Now I'm going someplace to represent Milwaukee when we start talking about sustainability, talking
Mhm.
about trying to, set the stage for our great planet.
Mhm.
So it's an honor. It's a lane that I don't know too many people in, or I really don't know anyone in.
Yeah.
That behind water, but then talking about healing the planet, taking care of not just the person, but the home of the person.
Mhm.
And if change looked like me with a hat on backwards and a hoodie, I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Come as you are.
I sure am. Got a hoodie wrapped up right here, track pants on now.
So thinking about production, where does all the magic take place?
So we work with a company out in California, and we also work closely with someone in Colorado, which, and we'll go to this Milwaukee bid that I'm throw out there for anybody who's listening.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where it is. And I tried several ways to kind of get everything in Milwaukee, but I'm not compromising the taste of the water and stuff just so I can say I'm from Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
The business is in Milwaukee. Any type of employment wise is going to be in Milwaukee. The incentives go to Milwaukee. Any positive fee goes to Milwaukee. Until I can get something of equal quality or better, it's going to stay where it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How's that going for you?
It's going well.
Yep.
It's going well. Spent a lot of money there, so now I'm not just the number. So
Yeah.
they answer my emails. So it's good. It's good. We were always thinking about we have this long-term plan.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be creating our own factory.
Okay.
And it'll be the first of its kind. Everything's mapped out, from the app to the business, the layout, blueprint, even the specs of it.
Yeah.
Just need that money.
Yeah.
So
Need
going to
them coins.
bclearh2o.com. and I want to do it without being, like I said, it's just a blessing. All of this has happened, not a loan, not a borrow, just working and blessing.
Yeah.
The blessings come to those that work. And so
on the topic of production, in order to have it here in Milwaukee, what do you need?
land and money.
Land and money.
See, I've been offered in Ghana. They offered me land.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to give me land to do the production there. They're talking about one bottle for Africa, and they want it locally done for all of Africa. Sounds great. We'll see how that works out. We're just building relationships. I don't jump into the first person that sweet talks me in my ear.
Right.
So, but Milwaukee can get behind. I like, to the mayor, to county exec, to all parks, rec. I'm local, and we can do a lot of collaboration. Shout out to Visit Milwaukee for reaching out and wanting to talk partnership. We have a couple of things in the work. I know some people say don't put it out there because you curse it. If it's gonna be, it's gonna be.
Right.
We have a meeting with the Hyatt, not here, but corporation, about getting them through their hotels. And I just think about how many times I went to the Marriott and took a picture in front of the Marriott and say, let's get these in these rooms. And I was staying at the wrong hotel, obviously. So Dr. Stacia reached out to a gentleman, and they spoke about it. She spoke highly of the water. They were interested, looked at it, called me, said, let's talk.
Yeah.
And we gonna talk. But then I just got across, a couple of people hit me in my messages about the RNC coming up. Now, I don't care who you're voting for right now at this point in time. That's not my place to tell you or encourage you either way. But I will say they got a bid out there for 250,000 bottles of water. There's also something out there for almost 70,000 of sports drink or equivalent. I'm saying that on the air because even if I don't get it, there's somebody else out there that could possibly benefit. And I'm not here to keep knowledge secret. So on the Milwaukee website, they're doing that. I am going for the 250,000 bid, not the 200 the 70,000, which I could use that for the electrolytes, but I'm not going for that one. I'm going for that water one. And fingers crossed. And maybe I'll be back in here talking about that big gig in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? We talking about
that's big.
10 truckloads coming in.
Yeah.
Deep.
Deep.
I'm hit the horn like I'm ready. No, it's flat. No, but it'll be good, and I think it'll be very positive for the city with the publicity that it may get. So
yeah. So this is a family-led venture.
You better know it.
Tell us about your children and the roles that they play in building this legacy.
So even though it was a dream of mine, I sat down with the family, had a family meeting, especially my eldest, because I spent so much time with him. To change course of direction, I asked him, so what do y'all want to do? I said, I'm going to do it. We're going to make some sacrifices. Things going to happen. My middle and my baby girl, they were just happy to walk around business cards and hand them out. They do it everywhere. I drop them off at school. Before I even get to kiss her, she's like, teacher's like, she gave me another business card. I'm like, use it. My eldest, he's starting to see it now. I mean, it's at the first, it was kind of hard for him to wrap his head around it, that we're going to go back to sacrificing and struggling. But after seeing he's in music, after, Fat Joe.
Oh yeah, he cold.
After Fat Joe, so many other folks in the fashion industry. We got Vic Mensa, so many, Nick Cannon, so many people had the water. And even Milwaukee's own Jacob Lattimore, and they showed it. A couple of the cast of Chicago, they had it, and they took the time to, support and show it online. And for him to see now these celebrities, like, remember Dad was just talking about selling water. I don't know if he thought I was going to be on the viaduct. No, I said this is a business, and I always said this ain't a small business. This is an enterprise in the growing stages. And I know it's going to be bigger than what anybody can imagine, because I was the only one giving the image.
Absolutely.
So,
they have a great father and role model and
I
business figure to look up to.
I look up to them. I just want to be something that they can grow up and be proud of and build off of.
Right.
And so they motivate me all the time. They're supportive. I see him walking around with his hoodies. It's in his new video. He got a new video out.
Oh, really?
His first video. And he has it in there. He took time. He's proud of it. And I love that they own it. He's on our 12 count box. But the children love it. They don't drink it. They call it everything else trash water. He said, do we have any water in the house? Just trash water. I said, all right, I'm going to get some.
Right.
So they love it. They love it. And I appreciate that they're so on board.
Yeah.
And
now your oldest, has any of them traveled with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Now just out of the country, just my eldest.
Okay.
The younger ones, we've done North Carolina or going different state sides, Philly, Jersey. Actually, the first commercial shot would Bklear. I did it on my phone with my eldest in Philadelphia up the Rocky Steps.
Nice.
And with English Gardner.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're very much a part of everything. They box it, they put the flyers in it. So if you get it in the car with the flyer or deliver it, they do it. They tape them up, put stickers on it. They run them with me, delivering them at people's homes here in Milwaukee. So they're very much a part of it, and they always want money. So I gotta pay them.
Yeah. I love that. So we know you have a lot of things in the works, a lot of projects in the works right now. Any future plans or innovations that Bklear has in store that you can share?
Other than the ones that I told you,
that's it.
Bklear is down with for now. The other ones, I can't talk. Those ain't nobody told me I couldn't talk about it yet. But we do got Stepping with the Stars.
Come on, Stepping with the
Stars.
When is that? June
2nd.
Yeah.
June 2nd. I'll put a link up on this. Yes, I don't dance. Nobody see me dance. I don't.
Are you taking any lessons for this?
Man, you better know it. I have to. Boy, I'm pigeon-toed. I've been walking across that floor. But I have a great mentor. There's some great people a part of it. I know they're raising money against cancer. And shout out to Alicia Smith, who's putting this on. I think this is her 10th year. And we're honored to be a part of it. And she supported Bklear, dramatically. And Jurassic, excuse me. And so you can support that. You can go on there. That's another thing they can support. go into my page, look at the link,
Mhm.
Bklear H2O, please clearh2o.com as well.
All right, we'll be back after this short break with Nurse Mahdi, founder of Be Clear on Flavor Fix.
Tell me what's your flavor?
Milwaukee. This is Michelle Bryant, your host of Say Something Real. When President Joe Biden wanted to talk to Milwaukee voters, he called WNOV. And welcome President Biden to Milwaukee and to WNOV. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. I had a great event downtown, and I'm at the headquarters now, and we're feeling really good. It's a great day. We have a lot of we have 1,000 volunteers going out here in Wisconsin, out of Milwaukee in particular.
So we are ready to roll in Wisconsin.
Well, I tell you what, God love you. We get Wisconsin, we win it all.
For up-to-date election information, keep it locked on WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM.
Craving some soulful flavor that'll make your taste buds sing? Look no further than a Taste of Soul MKE, conveniently located at 4706 West Fond du Lac Avenue. Join us every Wednesday for our mouth-watering basket specials, featuring favorites like ribeye steak sandwiches, tender beef or turkey burgers, soul wings, and more. And when Friday rolls around, indulge in our delectable menu options, including grilled shrimp and salmon, premium ribeyes, and perfectly baked or barbecue chicken. But wait, the soulful feasting doesn't stop there. Sundays are for soul food, with classics like meatloaf, baked and smothered chicken, juicy pork chops, and an array of delicious sides. Don't miss out on the sensation of a Taste of Soul MKE. Visit us today at 4706 West Fond du Lac Avenue and experience the soulful goodness for yourself. For more information, please call 414-810-1101. That's 414-810-1101.
Hey Milwaukee, Tavis Smiley here. I am pleased to bring my show to Brewtown starting Monday, May 6th, 5 p.m. on the new WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM, the voice of the Milwaukee community. You will be entertained and empowered, I promise you.
Hello, this is Michelle Pitts of the New Pitts Mortuary. Tune in daily to our morning gospel hour, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 a.m. I am personally inviting you to join us for an hour of power, as my dad would say. And most importantly, remember us, the New Pitts Mortuary, in your time of need. We can be reached at 414-447-6000, the New Pitts Mortuary.
You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
What's your flavor? What's your flavor?
All right, we are back with Nurse Mahdi, founder of Be Clear H2O. It's been a good show, hasn't it? What
I
you
love
think?
it. I appreciate it. I don't really do too much TV and radio.
Yeah.
Because I know I'll probably say something stupid. So I keep to myself, especially in this cancel culture. But
Quick, get canceled quick. Oh man, so where can we find where can we shop Be Clear?
we could definitely hit online. We're focused on e-sales. So we have BeClearH2O.com. That's BKLEAR H2O, not zero, H2O.com. As well as the social media handles. You can go on there and see more. You got Be Clear H2O on Facebook, Twitter, and or X, whatever it is, and Instagram. We are very responsive, but you can also, if you want to support our local businesses like Twisted Plants or Plant Vibes, Baked Dreams, Honeybee Sage, and Wellness. I know I'm gonna forget someone. That's why I hate when I start one person. They're like, "Why you ain't mentioning me?"
Right.
But it's out there, and if you don't see it, then complain to them. The focus was
Can you
small.
find that list on your website?
Yes, you can do.
Okay.
I do have a store locator on the website, and we deliver. You know, Milwaukee. If you're in a certain area, you don't even got to worry about it. Just order, we drop it off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
what does shipment process look like?
We try to get everything out like Amazon. You know, everybody's in this day and age where it's like the microwave. They want it quick, fast, and hurry. So usually we try to get to 2 days within ordering to 4 days. Shipping outside of state, we do ship to all 50 states. It does take, however long it takes them, 3 to 5 days.
Right.
But whether it's here in Milwaukee or out of state, we try to do it in 2 to 4 days.
Nice. I love it.
So I still nurse and I'm still teaching. So,
Yeah.
I can't completely rely on this paycheck. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's how we gotta say it.
Yeah,
Not yet.
absolutely.
You got any piece of advice or a fun fact or just something that you want to share with the listeners today?
One thing that I always suffered in is believing in self. People will look at you and think that you have it all together, knowing that you're probably crumbling all around you. Believe in yourself. There's nothing that the next person has that you don't have. 2 arms, 2 legs. I'm thinking the things that matter. The 2 arms, 2 legs, a brain that works to make them function properly. So everything else is opportunity after that. Don't always just talk about your belief in God. Exercise that faith, but not be stressing all the time. And I'm saying this to myself too. Things work out. You look up 10 years ago, you probably didn't think you'd be right here. And I didn't think I'd live to see 21. Here I am talking about building a school. I'm grateful. I can always say that the most. I found a woman that is supportive.
Yes.
That is, oh man, that is something different.
Yeah.
I ain't never experienced that. Beautiful, healthy children, intelligent. My mother, my father, they got their health. I live in the great city of Milwaukee. I'm truly blessed. You can make it. They say you make it anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I made it a lot of places.
Yeah.
And we still trucking. This is, I can go nursing any day, go back to what it is.
Yeah.
I'm living my actual dream.
Thanks for sharing.
August 28th, 3:14 a.m. and 2:20. It was a dream.
Yes.
May 6th, 2024. I'm sitting next to
here.
Samantha talking about that dream.
Yes, I was about to say thanks for sharing that dream with us.
Word.
Man. Well, thank you so much. This was great. It was a pleasure chatting with you today. Listeners, thank you for tuning in to Flavor Fix with Samantha Starr. We will see you next week on WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 The Voice. Peace.
Tell me what's your flavor.